Welcome, fellow Gear Pothead, Joe Pop Putty Man here, and today we are reviewing Wonder Woman 1984, or WW84 as it shows on the screen here. Now, this is going to be my official review for the new Wonder Woman movie that is available on HBO Max for 31 days and in theaters as well. Now, I've got a lot to go through, so understand we will be going to the official review, then spoilers. So I will not spoil anything in this beginning part, no worries. So make sure you guys enjoy what you're about, what we're going to talk about, and why I feel if you have a trial, or even if you have enough money for 1 month of HBO Max, this movie alone is worth the $12, $15 price, depending on where you at, price range, just to see this. And there's a lot that I want to go through. So before we do this, if at any point you do like this video, I need to ask you to do me one big favor. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's easy, simple to do, and just one click away, guys. All right, so Wonder Woman 1984 came out today, Christmas Day. By the way, Merry Christmas, by the way. I hope you're enjoying your Christmas Day. It's funny. I grew up occasionally watching Wonder Woman here and there, and not really getting to absorb it as much as I would like to. And when I knew this movie was going to be based in 1984, I was quite excited for what was about to come, as far as, whether or not the generation of it would actually fit the setup of, the movie, so on and so forth. And what I come to find out was what I saw, ended up getting was something monumental in my eyes. It's funny that this movie did some things I never thought when it came to, just based on characters alone, and how even the worst character in this movie, the bad guy, will pull emotions on you, and depending on what emotions you think I might be talking about. And I'm making it a little bit cryptic, so I won't spoil things for you. When it comes to like the roles that are played in this, I'm gonna go into the main four characters, and we're going to talk about how they felt when it came to their roles. So first and foremost, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, first and foremost, Wonder Woman, aka Gal Gadot. Now, ever since she played the part of Wonder Woman in the first movie, I honestly was amazed. And DC struggled a lot when it comes to movies, and Batman seemed like the only thing that was either hit or miss. And lately, when it comes to Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman movie was phenomenal. And I was afraid that this movie would not hit off. Basing this movie in the 80s might have been something that really helped it out a lot. And I'll explain that later in the review. But as far as Gal Gadot, she does exactly what she did in the first Wonder Woman. She knows what she's doing with this character, and you can tell she's proud to play this character. She plays it with strength. She plays it with kindness. She plays it like the Wonder Woman you want, And I'm very happy that she was cast. This is the best casting they've done ever since they picked, Michael Keaton to play Batman, or Hugh Jackman to play Wolverine, or Patrick Stewart to play Professor Xavier, or Robert Downey Jr. to play Iron Man. These people were made for these roles, and that's what fits this the system of this movie, is that she was made to play this role. So the question a lot of people might be questioning or asking is how would the other characters fit in this role? Well, let's go ahead and continue on with that, with our next character, which is Chris Pine as Steve Trevor. Now, he's definitely a catalyst a lot in this movie. I don't foresee any more of this character moving on in a and it's not in any way, shape, or form distinguishing him from a difference. He really is a catalyst in this movie, but it's not. But it's hard to explain without giving anything away. But let's just state he's really pivotal, and he's really needed. And I didn't really think that bringing him back was crucial until I saw this. So he did exactly what he was needed to put that way. And Chris Pine is a good actor, and nothing against him, but it's definitely something that it definitely played for him, as in it didn't seem like a character that was it wasn't really a character based for the comics. It was based for him and to fit that role based on his connection with Wonder Woman. The real connection for me was the role of Cheetah, played by Kristen Wiig, aka Barbara. Full name is actually I forgot, for some reason I always forget her name. It's Barbara Ann Minerva. Why did I forget that? Actually, Barbara Ann Minerva. I don't know why I forgot that. Anyway, but she plays the character of Cheetah. Now, Cheetah is actually a very crucial character when it comes to Wonder Woman. They have a long, long past in the comic books, and first and foremost, she does a phenomenal job playing off the character in a way that I'm very happy with. Basically, doing something that I felt Jamie Foxx in the Amazing Spider-Man, and I can't think of any other characters. The loser type characters that in those ways did not seem realistic, but for Kristen Wiig, she does it really nicely. But I think it's because deep down she's a beautiful woman, but she also is able to identify her flaws and play off of them really well. That really works for this character. The So it really fits her well to play Cheetah in my eyes, and I actually didn't think she would. Honestly, I'm a big fan of Kristen Wiig, but I was a little bit scared that she wouldn't be able to pull off this role because of her comedic background and the past, especially with the all female cast of Ghostbusters. And that's nothing against anybody playing any kind of characters like that. As far as being female, it's just it's not her fault when it comes to bad plot design and bad direction. It was never her fault in that movie, and definitely there's no fault in this one because she had the proper direction. The director, which I know it's the same director that directed the first Wonder Woman movie. I'm actually gonna get the name for you right now. Patty Jenkins. She's done a phenomenal job, and apparently she's doing a Marvel movie, which I can't remember what it is, but she's doing something in Marvel, which is pretty amazing in my eyes. So I'm pretty excited to see what she's going to do in the Marvel universe, since she's gracefully made Wonder Woman, both this movie and the first movie, so dramatically great. In my eyes, the biggest role that I feel like has a lot of callback would be Maxwell Lord, aka played by Pedro Pascal. Now, Pedro Pascal has been a big, 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 big part of my life, and the reason I say that is because if you're not familiar, Pedro Pascal is also the Mandalorian, guys. So to see him play this role, honestly, Pedro Pascal is one of those people that how do I explain this? I know he's been on shows like Community, things of that nature, but I didn't really know what to expect. And I should have known that he was going to be good when it comes to this role, because I've heard of him doing shows like Narcos, and I can't even think of a few other ones, but I never really invested in him. And because of Mandalorian, I've invested in him, and because of this movie, I've invested in him. He does such a great job in this role that's hard to explain, that how this character in the comic books is much different than the version I feel that was in this one. But I'm not going to explain why until we get to spoilers. But at the same time, he's not, and that's the hard part. It's hard to explain that without getting into any kind of cliche situation. So if you are a fan of the comic books, don't worry based on how I said that. That's not going to change your opinion on anything when it comes to this movie. It will definitely still be that movie that you're looking for, so to say. Am I explaining it correctly? I don't know. Honestly, this has been one heck of a crazy ride when it comes to this movie, and I did not expect what I expected out of it. So I want to state this. As I was going through trying to decide what I was going to do as far as grading it and going into spoilers and things of that nature, I wanted to do something that was dedicated to it. And it's funny, I sat here and I said maybe I should give it a lower score than I want to give it, but I can't see a flaw in this. Even with the differences that they changed, it's kind of like what Marvel does. When they make the change, they made it because it fit the movie, it fit the premise, and this is pretty much exactly what's going on in Wonder Woman 1984. Things might have changed, but they've changed for the good. So, in general, my score for Wonder Woman 1984 is pretty high. I'm giving Wonder Woman 1984 a 10 out of 10. It's an amazing movie. It's something that this is the path I wish DC would continue to take. And with them doing the first Wonder Woman and this Wonder Woman, they're doing a phenomenal job. And I'm very, very honored to say that I understand these characters, whether it be in the comic book or in the movie, and I can't wait to get into spoiler territory. So let me go and say this before I get into this. Um, if you've seen this movie, or if you haven't seen this movie, go watch it first, okay? Then what I want you to do is come back, and and I will be explaining each character in the comic book and how they change. Plus, I know that there's some other things people are gonna be asking about the ending, and that's what I want to get into at the spoiler end. So go watch this movie. Go get HBO Max or go to the theaters. I'm actually kind of saddened I didn't watch it in theaters now. I feel like this would have been way better in theaters, and it's kind of why I'm giving it the high score that it does, because I felt like I would have been way more emotional seeing this on the big screen. So I kind of hurt myself not seeing it that way, but I'm kind of glad because then I get to do this review for you guys a lot quicker and not have to wait till I got home and see it at a later time. And with that, again, score 10 out of 10. Go watch it. It's an amazing movie. DC's one of this is tied with their first movie, and this is one of DC's best movies out there. Again, this is setting up for something special in my eyes, you know. And if they continue using what Patty Jenkins has been doing with the Wonder Woman movies and use her, it's going to be an amazing time when it comes to later, movies or later, ideas in that nature. So, with that in mind, spoiler alert is in effect for this next part. I am going to be going into spoiler territories and things that are amazing. And I'm probably going to get teared up about it when I get into these parts. So, it's so good. All right. So, with that said, again, spoiler, you've been warned. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we are going to be going into the Easter eggs of Wonder Woman 84. Now, one thing I want to go ahead and bring out is the armor that you see Wonder Woman wearing. This was established in the comic book as being the armor that was used by Asteria. It is the armor made by the Greatest Warrior. So that is something that they did ring true from the books and everything, and I'm pretty excited they did that. But actually, later on, I'm going to go ahead and get into a few more things when it comes to that armor. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip around, especially since I'm able to do this through HBO Max. And we're going to look at some scenes without actually playing them out. I'm just going to skip around and bring them up on the screen, and we'll get to those. So nothing with the spoilers as far as Easter eggs with Wonder Woman outside of one part. And when I get to that, I will be excited to get to that. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and go into each one of the characters, shall we? Okay, so the first character I want to go into is Kristen Wiig's Cheetah, aka Barbara Ann Minerva. Now, in the comic books, it's quite different. Her powers were actually made by a potion, and that's Barbara Ann's character. See, here's the thing: there's actually been different versions of Cheetah in the comic book, and Barbara Ann Minerva is the one they used here. Now, she did have the same field of work, but she ended up getting her powers by drinking a potion and then use of some kind of berries. I can't remember. But it was given to her from a tribe. So it wasn't the wishing powers. And unfortunately, because of this movie, I don't think she's going to get her powers back, which is kind of saddening because Cheetah's kind of like, in my eyes, and this is just in my eyes, her Joker in my eyes. So I felt like it was good that they did bring her here, and I was very proud of how well Kristen Wiig did. So they did definitely change her origin story a lot, but I'm very proud of how they did it, and I felt like one situation that was really good was giving sympathy to all the characters for being downtrodden and abused and lost and so on and so forth. And you could definitely feel with her the pain that she's felt. So I did a good job of that. And in the situation, even in the comic books, one of the I can't remember which cheetah it was, but one of the cheetahs actually went through a curse that was involuntary set up not by Wonder Woman, but actions she felt Wonder Woman did, which actually is going to have something to do with the end of my video when we go into the end screen. So I slipped in a little Easter egg of my own when it comes to a video game that I played that has Wonder Woman and Cheetah in it. So you guys can wait till the end of the video to see what I'm talking about. But as far as Cheetah, I think they did a phenomenal job. I feel Kristen Wiig did a great job, and but again, they definitely changed a lot when it came to it. Now, the thing is when they changed it, she had her reason for doing it, just like she did in the comic book. Um, but it was not the same. Let's put it this way: both Maxwell Lord and Barbara Ann's changes or transformations in the movie were not the way they happened in the comic book. But it's funny how they still had some of the flaws as well, which we'll get into when it comes to the Maxwell Lord comic book version of the situation. So let's go ahead and go into that right now. Okay, so now when it comes to Maxwell Lord, it's actually the same situation. In the comic book, he had no powers, and if you really think about it, this Maxwell Lord also doesn't have any powers. But what makes it interesting is in the comic book, he does eventually become a metahuman. And the way that happens is, or what his metahuman powers become, is he can telepathically influence a human's mind in the form of pushing a subconscious suggestion to them, and then making them, or basically possessing them, or having them do what he wants, which does happen in this movie. But then they use the stone as a way of depicting that. In the comic book, he's not a nice guy. He actually, it doesn't. There's no sympathy, and that's what's funny about Pedro Pascal playing this part, is because there's no sympathy, and I feel like it's the same way with Cheetah. Both of these characters, when it comes to Cheetah and Maxwell Lord, they both do not have sympathy in the comic books, but they do in this movie, and I like that they kind of do that because it really pulled in my heartstrings, especially with his son. The major thing I want to say is, when it comes to this character, is that in the comic books, he actually, when he does do his of his abilities, his nose would bleed, and it would also cause him a mental strain, which they did in this movie too. It was an amazing little addition to it, and I honestly was just so forwarded, or the way they did that. So everything that when it comes to, again, it's like kind of like what Marvel's doing now, and which I feel DC should continue to do, is they take parts of the comic books that are great and find a way to make it in their universe that works. Again, I wish that they would allow the director that directed this to actually take the time to direct the other movies, because Patty Jenkins did such a great job that I felt like she. I don't think she's the forefront everything, but I feel like she has an understanding of what's the word I'm looking for? An understanding of what makes Wonder Woman so great, if that's understandable. So, um, seeing that as it is, it was great to see that character blossom and grow. Now, before I get into the last Easter egg, which is the one in the credits, which you might be here just because of that, I want to mention something that's not really an honorable mention, more of like a holy crap moment that made me just giggly, like giggle as a kid, like a 5-year-old. Let me explain. Okay, so if you look down below, right there, you'll notice something. And if I'm gonna wait for it. If you don't get it, then I'm so excited to talk about this. Do you know what that is a picture of below me, right there? I'll show you. Are you putting it together now? If you go 1 minute and 1 hour and 10 minutes into the movie, you'll remember the scene where her and her beau, I guess you can call it. I'm forgetting his name already. Um, but you'll actually see that they're inside an invisible jet. That's what you see below. I went giddy when I saw that, because Wonder Woman does fly an invisible jet in the comic books and in the old Super Friends cartoon. There used to be a cartoon called Super Friends. Actually, let me bring up a picture right now. There it is. That's the old Super Friends jet, or the old invisible jet on Super Friends, the old cartoon. I know there are so many people around my age and even older that had to freak out when they saw that. It was amazing to see the invisible jet appear in this movie. And it's just like the situation of the final title screen as well. And that one I'm going to have to explain to you, because you actually see her earlier, and I've even put two and two together what they were doing. And oh my God, was I amazed. So, with that, let's get to the final Easter egg that blew my mind. I'm so happy. Okay, what you see below me right now is Asteria. Asteria is the character that Wonder Woman talks about in the movie, about being the greatest warrior to earn the title of Golden Warrior, and that's where you see Diana, aka Wonder Woman, get the gold armor from. That's a picture of her right there that you can find in one of the comic books. Here's why that's special. Now this is Asteria in the comic. I mean, sorry, Asteria in the movie. In the end credits, do you know who that is right there? Okay, first and foremost, I know I just said that's Asteria, all right? She is the Golden Warrior that Diana talks about and gets the armor from. Or not armor from, but, finds the armor but doesn't find her. But the actress that plays Asteria, oh my god, I want to cry. Oh, do you see who that is below my screen right there? Well, that's Wonder Woman. No, no, not Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. That's Linda Carter Wonder Woman. And Asteria right there, the one right there, that's right there, that's the same person. Linda Carter plays Asteria in this movie, which is the Golden Warrior, the original Amazonian warrior that everyone praises. And she plays Asteria in this movie. Linda Carter, the original Wonder Woman, plays the one all other Wonder Womans look up to in this movie. It's like a full circle. It's like kind of like if they ever did like a warrior for Batman, and they had Adam West standing there, or Lou Ferrigno with with the new Hulk. I was waiting for her to show up in any of these Wonder Woman movies and to see Linda Carter play this part, but then even play the character that she deserves to play. It's hard to explain how everything goes full circle and how amazing it was that they did this. Um, Again, I'm forgetting her name. The director's name, I'm forgetting it, and I'm sorry. I praise her for doing this. This is an amazing accomplishment, and I'm so happy they did this. If you've never seen the old Wonder Woman show, you gotta just go and watch a few episodes just to feel what it was like to see her, because she was amazing in the part, and to see her continue this, like the way she walks with a presence in this scene, that's so amazing, and you could tell she's so excited to play it, and I know her and Gal Gadot actually talked, so to see her, and what's really funny too, and if you haven't seen my DC fandom video, Linda Carter actually talks to Gal Gadot during DC fandom when they're advertising this movie, and I never put two and two together that they were going to put her in the movie. Like, that was right there, should have been my freaking clue. It's like, I don't know, it went over my head so much, and it's because I waited so long for this movie to come out. Um, I don't know. Honestly, this is the best Easter egg of all things, is having her as Asteria was monumental, to say the least. I'm so excited that I got to do this review. I'm so excited I got to do this at home and to be able to show you guys these little intimate details that they put in this movie that I could never do perfectly like I can at home watching this. I'm sad I didn't see this in theaters. I am deeply sad. But now I'm happy that I kind of didn't, because I got to see this and I get to explain it to you guys. I want to know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy this movie? Did you love the Easter eggs I pointed out here, how amazing this is and how full circle it is? I'm sure there's a few more I missed, and I'll probably go through. I might make another video if it's that amazing. But Patty Jenkins, I just remember her name. Patty Jenkins did a great job of this movie, and I'm so happy that she continued to do what made the first Wonder Woman so great and make it better. Setting this in the 1980s was such a great idea. Even though the original Wonder Woman was a 70s show, I saw it in the 80s. So it really fit in my heartstring to see Linda Carter's show that was in the 70s, watched in the 80s, and then this movie is based in the 80s. I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. Comment below how you guys felt about the Easter eggs. I appreciate you guys so much for watching this. Merry Christmas. The best Christmas ever was getting to see this movie. I had a great Christmas because of this, and I hope you guys as well. Now, stay tuned for the end. since you actually came for the Easter eggs, and I'm going to give you a little special treat. If you've never played the game Injustice 2, well, now you get to see some cool stuff with both Cheetah and Wonder Woman. So enjoy that. And as always, I am Putty Man with Gamer Potheads, and do not forget, we're all about high score. Peace out. I'll talk to y'all later.
Diana. I'm tired of this, Barbara. Don't deny you cursed me, Diana. You brought it on yourself.
Wonder Woman wins.